Hi, this is James Shugg at Westpac with the London end of day report for Thursday, November the 8th. Another down day for equities. In fact, the US markets are at their lowest since August now. Yesterday's losses were related to mainly to the US election outcome and the concern that investors had about the possibility that the fiscal cliff might be avoided in the US, but today it was more about Greece. The Greek Parliament did approve narrowly the 13.5 billion euros worth of extra austerity measures, but the word out of, from Germany in particular, related to the possibility that European finance ministers on Monday might approve the next 30-odd billion euro tranche of bailout funds for Greece. The word out of Germany is that that ain't going to happen. Now the concern is that Greece needs the funds by the end of next week, that's the 16th of November, to avoid a default. Whereas the German Finance Ministry is suggesting that a decision won't be made until the end of November. So that just doesn't add up in terms of a favourable outcome, unfortunately. So investors have sold off markets, not just in Europe but in the US as well on that story. On the data front today, we had a few things to report. The US trade deficit narrowed from $43.8 billion to $41.5 billion in September. Exports rose more than 3%, and that offset a 1.5% import gain. Weekly jobless claims were down in the latest week, but there's an impact there from the storms on the east coast. So it's hard to really say what the underlying labour market story is based on those numbers. In fact, the figures will be kind of distorted by the storm for a few weeks now, apparently. German exports down 2.5% in September, reversing an August rise of about the same amount. European Central Bank on hold. The ECB chief Draghi foreshadowed a downgrade to the staff forecasts that they're going to be published in December. We've already, of course, seen the EU Commission yesterday publish downgraded forecasts for European growth. But despite that, no hint about any further monetary easing from the ECB. Bank of England on hold as well. They've left their asset purchase program at 375 billion, so effectively it's suspended again after the latest run-up of 50 billion. So that's it in terms of the main data points to note. As I say, it's the Greek story that's the main driver of sentiment today, though. So in London we saw the market close down 0.25%, the French market down 0.1%, Germany off 0.4%, and losses of around 0.5% in the Spanish and Italian markets. The Dow at the moment, look, it's coming up to 8:30 in London, it's quite late, so 3:30 in New York. And the Dow's down around 0.5% at the moment. It's at 12,870. The Nasdaq's off about 1%. Apple shares kept tumbling. They're down like 20%, I think it is now, from their recent peak. But as I say, the main driver concerns about Greece. On commodity markets, we've seen some gains actually. So we've got oil prices up 0.8% at $85.15 a barrel. Copper's up 0.9%, and gold up 1.2% at $1,734 an ounce. The Aussie dollar's at 1.04 against the US dollar. Not too much changed from yesterday. Bit of support for the Aussie coming from the stronger than expected jobs numbers that we saw on Thursday in Australia. Now, Friday in Australia, it's the Reserve Bank's monetary policy statement we've got to look forward to, an update there on their forecasts, and that's about it really. I'll be back with another report tomorrow, but until then, bye for now.